Brandon, what are your thoughts on the weekend as a whole, but specifically last night? I know you said that you got to watch the race and you had a very positive, upbeat attitude when you were watching it, and that was kind of me last year. I was just so ready to be done with the NFL. I think I was more excited for NASCAR season than ever before. But why did you feel that way, and what did you think of the race weekend?
I don't know, Ben. I guess it's more of just a testimonial, and you kind of take it or leave it sort of a thing for the week. But Thursday night, of course, I had a basketball game because this is what this time of year calls for radio broadcasts. But so I went back and saw the duels more properly later on, and so that's when I saw. I think duel one. I basically missed it all live. So Bubba Wallace winning that first duel race. So I really would like to go back and watch some of that more, not on my phone, but on an actual television. But second duel, saw basically all of it, and seeing there at the end where Eric Jones, had the caution light come up when he was, he crossed the line first as far as we saw, but they put the button on just about 50 yards short, and so that's what happened there. And so you got that in your mind of that's how they're going to officiate there. Well, that, and then you get to the Daytona 500, and it was really a great race. As I'm trying to gather my thoughts here, it's trying to get the rust off of winter and getting into these shows again. But really had a fun time watching the event because, well, first of all, the rain came just like it did 5 years ago when the president of the United States shows up. Don't know why that happened again, but it did. And fortunately, not as long as it did 5 years ago. We didn't have to go into Monday. We got the entire Daytona 500 in on Sunday in a reasonable time, and it got to be in prime time. Was able to go to church and pause it, and so I came back. I was able to watch it with my wife, and she was really invested into it this year. I maybe it's because we had the ability to skip the commercials, but also Fox did a great job at having a limited amount of commercials by minutes I saw compared to some previous years. So good on NASCAR on Fox for reducing that time, listening to the fans, and having more side by side action when they have to go to break and pay the bills. But I mean, overall, just the excitement really been just for the season to start again. I probably have caught the bug that you had last year of boy, that was just such a rough Super Bowl. I want to see NASCAR again. But I was pretty indifferent with the Super Bowl this year. I'm glad the Chiefs lost, but that's about it. Not really. I'm not yay or nay that Philadelphia got a ring. But watching the Daytona 500 this year, I don't know. I was upset about Eric Jones not getting that, and I think they shouldn't have thrown the caution. But I've heard so many different voices talk about it throughout today and last night that that's kind of like why I stopped remembering how to put sentences together because I'm trying to gather it all and it didn't really all come out. But the bottom of my line is I was upset with how the second duel went. And I thought that was just that should never happen again. The way that was done. And I don't buy the argument that all the drivers in the back of the field are going to be, going fast towards the line and that's risking more danger. And I think NASCAR officials understood that they're human too. They saw that night. They saw the reaction on social media and everywhere and went, wow, we don't want to do that. And so you get to Sunday, and I think we got what we asked for. You don't want the Daytona 500 to end under yellow. You don't want us to freeze the field on the backstretch. Okay, we won't do that. We're going to let them race to the line. And so they did. And I hear that, they're danged if they do it. They're danged if they don't. And I guarantee you, Ben, if they had put the yellow out on the backstretch last night, we would be sitting here talking about it today, being angry about that. That's the way I'm seeing it right now. I'm taking a positive outlook at it. That, and I know we have no background information to think that this is going to be a good precedent setting going forward, because we know the consistently inconsistency. But I'm also hearing today that like these different yellows, they all look different, and so I'm sure you've heard that already today. It's impossible to keep it consistent when every scenario is completely different. And so I've been hearing that, and I think it's wise to take all of these into consideration before I just get mad and just write off the year. I'm not ready to do that. The super speedway racing needs help. It does. I get that, but I'm just appreciating it for what it is at the present moment this year. So glad that Ryan Preece is okay. I heard every word he said there, adrenaline fueled and all, of thinking about his daughter. And good grief, when are these cars going to stop flying off the ground? But at the same time, this is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. I don't think you're ever going to get these cars to stay planted to the ground. Race car drivers are always going to find a way to up the ante and make a move and lift. But Ryan Preece is alive, and we thank NASCAR for that. Ryan Newman's alive. And Elliott Sadler's alive. All of these phases have come and gone, but these men are still walking today because that fight to make it safer never stops working there in North Carolina. So thankful for that. Overall, just on a personal note, it was really cool to enjoy that race with my wife, and she was into it like fully. And at the end, of course, at that time, I was not happy about the finish. I was already like, oh, come on, that's crap. Why are we doing that? And like, I wasn't even processing that William Byron was a 2-time Daytona 500 champion. I was just still thinking about what just happened. And also Riley Herbst not, keeping that car under control. That I was still getting over that. Like that was the best thing that could have happened, because that would have ended it in turn 1, and we would have had Kyle Busch's fiasco. I was already upset that it was going to overtime. I was going into the weekend thinking, I just want 500 miles. Can we at least get 500 miles? Can we just do that? Of course we can't. But that's what this beast is today. And also Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. are my other beefs. These guys are just, they're chrome horns. They can't get it together that you can't do this. But you can't tell a race car driver not to be aggressive, I guess. But yes, I've heard all of Denny Hamlin's opening monologue, and I agree with that too. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I enjoyed the weekend is what I'm trying to say. I know I'm taking up more time than I probably ever have before.
No, you're good. I mean, there's a lot of layers to this, and I think that, I'm as soon as we log off, I haven't gotten a chance to listen to Action's Detrimental yet. I know that it just dropped right before we went on the air. They were teasing it, saying it's a good one.